Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans.
Days after the white supremacist march and car attack that killed a counter-protester in Virginia, U.S. President Donald Trump finally did what so many had been demanding, spelling out by name the hate groups that brought terror and death to the community of Charlottesville.
You're fine. Be safe, okay? Okay.
Mourning and solidarity rallies in Charlottesville, Virginia tonight across the U.S. and even in Toronto in wake of a car attack that killed anti-nationalist protester Heather Heyer this weekend. James Alex Fields Jr. charged with running his car into a crowd of anti-fascist protesters in Virginia Saturday night. Vice President Mike Pence has called it a terror attack. So the question in this country tonight is, what happened there? Could that happen here? And the answer now from one of Canada's leading researchers on hate crimes and hate groups in this country.
Without being alarmist, when you look at what happened in the United States, do you believe that Canada could see that kind of violence?
Yeah, we're going to have those clashes. I think we're going to see more unprovoked violence, but we're also going to see more clashes as these sorts of demonstrations emerge. We are going to see clashes, so there will be violence.
Dr. Barbara Perry has been researching hate crimes and hate groups in Canada for the last 2 decades. She says a perfect storm is brewing in this country as emboldened far-right groups prepare to take to the streets.
The counter-protesters are likely to be probably even in greater number than the white supremacists, but that's also, causes real potential and a real possibility for violence as they clash.
There's a storm coming that Environment Canada couldn't predict. This is Storm Alliance Canada's messaging that's being distributed online as they plan a national day of action in cities right across this country. Dr. Perry says in the past year, the number of recognized supremacist organizations has shot up from 100 to about 150.
There are new groups popping up all over the place. We've got Sons and Soldiers of Odin in most major cities now. Little homegrown groups, local groups that are popping up, some online, some on the ground. We're seeing some offshoots, some chapters of American movements, like the Proud Boys, who made their first showing, of course, infamously on the weekend of July 1st.
I mean, they are white supremacists.
You don't know?
Like, we know what
I don't gotta know somebody, no, I don't like them.
Show us where we're white supremacists.
Go away.
We don't have to show you.
The preppily dressed Proud Boys disrupt an Indigenous ceremony in Halifax on Canada Day. An anti-immigration rally in Toronto featuring the far-right Soldiers of Odin results in clashes with counter-protesters. Among the Canadian offshoots of U.S. groups, the 3 Percenters, who claim they are armed and ready for battle.
These 3 Percenters, this militia group, who are taking their battle to the street, taking their language to the streets in these street patrols, these community watch programs that they're talking about. It's in a lot of Canadian cities now.
7 months ago, a man walked into this Quebec City mosque and opened fire during evening prayers, killing 6 and wounding 19 others. Dr. Perry says as the far right goes more mainstream, some will move away because of the violence, but those who are hardcore will see it as a call to arms.
It may well sort of strengthen their resolve, that it's proof to them that, yes, our brothers, typically, some of our sisters, are willing to go to that length. And we should too. We should be prepared to give our lives or to take lives if necessary in order to restore, in this case, Canada or the U.S., whichever you want to say, to restore our country to its rightful people.